Shalom Aleichem, a good night of Shabbos, Chanuka, it's gewaldig. 3 Sifrei Torah, Shabbos, Chanuka, Shabbos, Rosh Chodesh, Shabbos, Mocher Chodesh. Wow, what an opportunity for mitzvahs and oil and light. Rabbi Say, the following story will put us in the mood. I heard a clip this week. There's a rabbi, a Chabad rabbi, Flinkenstein, who I know is a rabbi in Wilmette, Illinois. It's a suburb of Chicago, I believe. He gets a call this week, early in the week, and someone says, Rabbi, I'd like to talk with you. And he says, what about? He says, I'd like to know how I can retract the conversion that I did of becoming a Christian years ago. I want to change my status. I was born to a Jewish mother, and I want to be again a Jew. The rabbi says a Jew is a Jew. You've always been a Jew. The technicalities we'll deal with. Come over, let's talk, etc. But the rabbi then says to him, what made you call me? What happened that all of a sudden you want to become Jewish again? In your mind, you want to become Jewish again, although you were always Jewish, and you want to denounce your Christianity. He says, Rabbi, I'll tell you. I was walking in my neighborhood, and I saw a car driving around with a menorah on top of the car. And something went so deep inside my soul, and it shook me, that all of a sudden I said, I want to do tshuva. He didn't say those words. I want to return to my people. I no longer want to be a Christian. And I want to get rid of this stigma and this ugly Christianity from me. I'm a Jew. That's what this menorah on top of the car reminded me of. So I looked up a rabbi and I came to your name and I called you. Rabbi Say, this is what Chanuka is about. Pirsum Nissa, publicizing the miracle. 50 years ago or so, when the Rebbe, the Lubavitcher Rebbe, spoke about this and said we should go out, and he once said, better than talking here, go out and share the message of Chanuka with other people. And Chabad, starting in the 1950s, started to do this. Today it's so popular. There's a menorah in each street corner, public menorah lightings. It's unbelievable. But when it started, there was criticism. From the right, the center, the left, from everybody. From the Litvaks, the Sfardim, the Hasidim, don't ask. Presuming this, they said, the Shulchan Aruch says you should publicize the nest. That means put it at the window so people can see it. It says Shulchan Aruch, and that's true. But the Rebbe said that's not enough. You need to be mefarsim. You have to publicize the nest, the miracle to others, and the message of Chanuka. This story that we just shared concretizes and substantiates that the Rebbe saw 50, 60 years ago what will happen today. Now, you might say, really? Yeah, because whether he saw the detail or he saw the cloud, the general idea, it's one and the same. Meaning, if you do this and you go on this course, you will touch people, and Yidden will do tshuva. Tell me, how many Yidden are standing Nila, in Shul, in Bnei Brak, in Yerushalayim, in Monsey, in Lakewood, in Borough Park, in Flatbush, in Passaic, and have such level of tshuva that they want to denounce their shtuyot, their nonsense, their aveiros, their transgressions, their ugliness, their lack of Avos Yisrael. How many? Here is a Jew who knows nothing about Judaism. He knows one thing, he's a Jew. And all of a sudden he sees a menorah, he says, what am I doing? What am I doing that I've converted? He didn't learn, he didn't daven, he didn't give tzedakah, something hit him. Da Elekei Avicha, it says. First you have to you have to know God before you can experience Elekei Avicha, the God of your father, which means faith. This is what I'm telling you is not a faith. This is This is something that's understandable. If you get rid of your hatred and your animosity and your shtick that we have against others, we have to get rid of it. This is true for for Chabad to others and others to Chabad. This whole idea is not the Jewish idea. Of course, we have different approaches. I understand that. The Rebbe once said at a Fabrengen, I was there, the Rebbe said, Chanuka Light is a good zach. Difference of opinions is a good thing. Machloikes, divisiveness, is nicht kein gute Zach. It's not a good thing. We have to make that discernment between divisiveness, machloikes, and Chanuka Light and difference of opinions. Sure, we have different opinions. Sfard, Ashkenaz, Sfardim, Ari, Chabad, Hasidim, Snagdim, Litvaks, whatever. But when you hear such a story, you have to be honest with yourself and say, I thought this Lubavitcher Rebbe's idea for years was ridiculous. Why must they drive around with tanks and menorahs and go to Manhattan and go to King's Highway and go here and there? Can't they just do it in their own community? What do they want from everyone? In Yiddish, there's an expression, Lass leben. Let someone live. Let him be. Stop pressuring. Lachatz. Pressure. Rabbi said, this is not pressure. This is elikus. This is godliness. Elikus, divinity. Here we have divinity. How can you not want divinity? If someone gives you a good investment and puts it in your hand, you'll run after it. You'll go after it. You won't see it as an exertion and bother, but rather you'll embrace it. You'll say, I want more and more. Hanukkah is about bringing into the world light, bringing Torah into the world. It's Torah light. It's not light that we decide what light is. It's light that the Eibishter HaKadosh Baruch Hu, God Almighty, gave every single Yid an opportunity to be mefarsim, to publicize the Nes anywhere and everywhere they can go. Whether they're on an airplane or whether they're walking the streets, where they're driving, wherever it is. You have a brochure, you have a Chanuka Menorah, you say a Vart, you say something. Today we live in a world where, what do they say? If you see something, say something. If you see Hanukkah, say Hanukkah. Don't say, just to myself and my family and my friends. I will make a little chagig, a little party with suganiyot, with oil and more oil and donuts. And what are we doing? Just thinking about ourselves. Enough already. Enough. Go out. And go out doesn't mean you have to go to Timbuktu. Go out means up here. In your cup, in your head, adapt the attitude of change of going out, and understand that such a story, which happened this week in America, in a suburb, is talking to us who live in the bigger cities of Miami and Los Angeles and Chicago and Brooklyn and Lakewood, etc., etc. This is another reason why this Shabbos is a gewaldige Shabbos, to really say l'chaim, to say words of Torah, to sing a Chassidish nigin. The Haneres Alolu, the Chabad Haneres Alolu, is such a touching and beautiful song. It starts with Haneres Alolu, Haneres Hallelu, Haneros, Hallelu, Hallelu, Haneros, Hallelu, Onu madlikin hal hachuis ram. Ram, ram, diddy, ram, 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 diddy, ram, Maneiro is hallelu. It goes on and on until the end. It says, Al nisecha, v'al nifleisecha, v'al Yeshuaisecha. We thank God for the miracles and wonders and salvation. May it be in our day, Amen, Ken Yiratzeh, with the coming of Mashiach. a good Erev Shabbos, a good Erev Rosh Chodesh, and we should see each other together with the Rebbe and all tzaddikim in the Beis HaMikdash, b'mheira b'yameinu, amen v'amen, Yerushalayim ira kodesh, amen.